Happy New Year and welcome back to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast. We solve life and business problems that transform businesses and individuals into happier and fulfilled ones. And as we are getting into 2020, and as we are planning and as we are executing the visions that we have for 2020, as we are making sure that the plans that we have to achieve success into 2020 are achieved, I want us to talk about one of the things that would help you and I to succeed. If you and I are going to succeed, we need to be intentional. And as a certified independent speaker, coach, and trainer with the John Maxwell team, I am certified to teach on one of the most important books, that is the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And the first law of growth, or the first principle that you and I need to adhere to, that you and I need to take into account as we are planning and as we are executing on the New Year's resolutions that we have, is the first law, the law of intentionality, which simply says that growth does not just happen. In other words, if you and I are going to succeed, and if you and I are going to thrive in 2020, success won't just happen. Just because you've set out your New Year's resolutions, just because you've set goals for 2020, it does not automatically mean that the success that you've set, the resolutions that you set, it does not mean that you'll automatically achieve them. But if you and I are going to make sure that whatever dreams that we are setting out for ourselves, if you and I are going to make sure that whatever purpose that God has given us to accomplish or to fulfill on this earth, we need to be intentional about it. There are no shortcuts to success. As a matter of fact, there are no secrets to success. And if you and I are going to succeed the way we desire to succeed in 2020, we need to be intentional about what we are doing. The law of diminishing intent states that if there is something that you should be doing and you do not do it now, the odds are you'll not do it. Let me repeat it again. The law of diminishing intent states that if there is something that you should be doing now, if there is a dream or if there are actions or steps that you should be taking now to make sure that the dream, the goal, the resolution that you set for 2020, if there's nothing, there are no steps that you are doing, if there's nothing that you are doing now to make sure that you achieve and do those things, the odds that you will never do it, or the odds that you will never achieve or accomplish that resolution, that dream, that desire, that purpose you've set out for 2020, the odds are very high. Now, in other words, if you want to succeed the way you are planning to succeed, number one, what are the things that you should be doing now, not tomorrow, not the day after, not a month later, but what are the things that you should be doing now to make sure that you achieve that success you've set out for yourself? If you are saying that I want to achieve success academically, what are you doing now? You cannot wait the day before the exam starts for you to start achieving academic excellence. You cannot wait for the first or a week before the exam that you start preparing yourself for the exam. No. What are you doing now to make sure that the dream that you've set out, to make sure that the resolution that you have resoluted with yourself, you accomplish? What are you doing now? I'm not concerned about tomorrow. I'm not concerned about what you did yesterday, but what are you doing now? You said you wanted to be a better husband. You said you wanted to be a better father. You said you wanted to be a better lover. What are you doing now? Not tomorrow. What are you doing now to make sure that you are the better father that you want your kids to be proud of? What are you doing now? What are you doing now to make sure that you are the best spouse, the best boyfriend, the best girlfriend? What are you doing now? Because if you do not do it, if you're not doing it now, the odds are you'll never do it. And it's been said that by the end of February or late February, mid-February, mostly 90% of the people who have set resolutions would have given them up. But if you are going to say that I am purposing with my heart, I am committing with my heart, I am committing to make sure that I don't put things out for later. Oh, later never comes. One singer says, if tomorrow never comes, and it does not come, if you are going to postpone the actions, if you are going to postpone what you should be doing today, the odds are that tomorrow you will not do it. If you are going to postpone being as romantic as you desire to your spouse, if you are going to postpone being a great father or a mother today and you postpone it to tomorrow, tomorrow will never come. And even tomorrow you'll still be saying, no, I'll do that tomorrow and I'll do that tomorrow. And 10 years will go down the line, 20 years will go down the line. You still find yourself, you are saying that tomorrow, and you realize that tomorrow has never come. Number 2, who do you need in your team to help you accomplish those dreams, those resolutions, and those desires? You know, we as human beings, we thrive on community. We thrive when we are working together. Who do you need in your team to hold you accountable for those resolutions that you set out for yourself? Who do you need in your team who will make sure that whatever it is that you committed, whatever it is that you planned on achieving in 2020, you are achieving those dreams, you are achieving those resolutions? Who do you need in your team? Who is the coach that you need? And if you're looking for a coach, I am here and I am certified by the world's biggest leadership training organization. I am certified by the John Maxwell team. And I am well equipped to help you, not only you, but your leadership team. Not only your leadership team, even those that are not within your immediate leadership team. I can come to your company and hold a workshop to make sure that you as a company, you are growing together. You are aligned, perfectly aligned with the dreams and the vision of the company. I can help you individually to make sure that those dreams that you've set out, you are aligned and with authenticity and moral authenticity to make sure that you accomplish whatever it is that you said. I am here. I can come and coach you and your leadership team. I can come and speak. We can have masterminds, lunch and learns. What are you doing? Number 3, what are you doing to develop yourself? Yes, you are intentional about achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. Yes, you've got a team that's holding you accountable. But what are you doing to develop yourself? In regards to your business, to make sure that the team grows better, what are you developing yourself as an individual? In which areas are you developing yourself as a team leader? In which areas are you developing yourself as an employee? In which areas, as the CEO, are you developing yourself to make sure that the resolutions that you've set out for 2020, you accomplish? What are you doing to develop yourself? In which areas? Have you identified the areas where you're not strong, where you could employ or you could get the assistance of other leaders in different departments? What are you doing to develop yourself? Number 4, what are you doing to develop your team? If you're not developing yourself, you will become the limit that's stopping the team from going to higher levels. If you are not developing yourself as the team leader, as the CEO, or as the manager, or as the supervisor, if you are not developing yourself, if you are not making sure that the gifts that you have or the responsibilities that have been allocated to you, if you are not developing yourself, you will be the lead, the limit. You will be the limit or the limitation that's holding the team down from achieving the success that you've agreed upon to achieve those success. What are you doing to develop yourself? And when you are developing yourself, number 5, what are you doing to develop your team? You are as strong as your weakest link in the team. You are as strong as the leadership team you have that's surrounding you. Oh, one is too small of a number to achieve greatness in 2020. Oh, you cannot do it alone. But if you are going to do it and you are going to do it with your team successfully, you can't just hope that your team gets better. You can't just hope that the people that you've allocated or the people that you have recruited or purposefully engaged to make sure that they hold you accountable. You cannot just say, I pray that they do get better. It's not enough. Pray. But when you're done praying, go ahead and develop your team. What are you doing to develop your team? In which areas have you seen that you yourself need development? And in which areas have you seen that my team needs to develop themselves in these areas? What are you doing to develop yourself? What are you doing to develop your team? If you are going to succeed, my friend, what areas do you need some feedback on? In which areas, as the leadership team, as you are pursuing the mandate of the organization, as you are pursuing the mandate of the company, as you are pursuing the mandate of the church, as you are pursuing the mandate of the non-profit organization, what are you doing to develop yourself? What are you doing to develop the leadership team? And if you don't have that plan to develop yourself, and if you don't have that plan to develop your leadership team, I am here to assist you. I've got the best curriculum and I'm well equipped to ensure and to monitor that you are developing yourselves. And I remember last year, December, when the year ended, one school hired me and said that, Mr. Mamabolo, the school hasn't been performing to its ability. The school hasn't been exceeding the expectation. The school hasn't been up to standard. Could you please come in? Can you please come and coach the leadership? Can you please come and host some workshops and team building activities to ensure that we as a team are succeeding, that we as a team are thriving in 2020? And I went in there. And we spend the entire day equipping. I spend the entire day coaching them, coaching the leadership team, how we're helping them to build solid networks. And I remember when I was done, the principal was so proud. And he said, Mr. Mamabolo, what you've just done for us. Oh, we want you to come back again next year. What you've just done for us, it's mind-boggling. What you've just done for us, you've taken us from the mediocre level that we were in, and you've raised up the standard. And I am able to do the same for you and your company. I am able to do the same for your life, and I'm able to do the same for your church or for your organization. If you and I are going to succeed in 2020, we need to be intentional about the growth that we need. If you and I are going to succeed and build winning teams and build winning organizations, we need to be intentional. Growth does not just happen. Just because we've set out the resolution for the team, just because we've set out the mission and the vision for the team, the mission and the vision for the organization, it does not mean that it will occur. It does not mean that you would meet the targets. It does not mean that you've got the strategies in place to ensure that that mission is executed with excellence. And if you're not well equipped, I am here as a coach, as a speaker. Send me a message on my number, on my phone. +271 639 7807. I repeat, +271 639 7807. And I'll attach the number. Just send me a message or send me a text on WhatsApp or an SMS and say, I want you to coach I want you to lift me and my team to a higher level. I want you to equip us as an organization so that we are well equipped to maximize on the opportunities that we have to become the leading organizations in finance, to become the leading insurance company, to become the leading auto manufacturing company in the world. If you are saying that I want to become a professional, or I want to elevate or increase the level of excellence or the standard of excellence, contact me and I'll help you lift that level of excellence. Thank you for tuning in to the Igniting the Dreams Within podcast, where we solve life and business problems. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors as you are going to be pursuing whatever success you've set out to pursue. I am here. We are here as the Igniting Dreams Within Corporation to help you and your company, to help you and your church, to help you and your organization, to lift you up to a higher level. I am well equipped and certified by the John Maxwell team, and I can help you. My friend, don't only dream that 2020 becomes better than 2019. Do whatever it takes, pay the price to make sure that 2019 is as great as you want it to be. And in conclusion, I want to share with you a story that transformed my life. It's been told that there was this wise old man, very rich old man. And in his old age, he reached a time where it's time for him to pass, or it's time for him to cross over to the other areas, or to the other place, or to die, or transition. And in his old age, he set out and said that there is I don't have any children of my own. I don't have my own siblings that I can pass down my wealth to. But I remember that I've got one young boy who used to be a servant, who used to be a housekeeper. My housekeeper had this young child, and I love that child very much. And I heard that after his mother and father, who were working with me, had passed on, he left on. He never even said goodbye. And I heard that he's staying on the streets. And I'm sending my butler to go to the streets. We heard that he's staying on the streets. I'm sending my butler to go and look for him, to bring him back home so that he would be well taken care of. And the butler went on, drove in his nice, beautiful Lamborghini. And he went and searched for him the first day. And when he was on the street, he realized that, no, I can't find him. Let me just take my limo so that when I find him, because the Lamborghini is too small, when I find him, I'll be able to bring him into the limo. He would be able to enjoy, even feast. Maybe he might have some friends that he might want to feast in. So I'm taking the limousine. And a few days passed, and the man is looking for him, and he's looking for him, and he's looking for him on the streets. And one day, some of the homeless people point him towards that young man. Oh, and upon arrival, he's got a title deed to the estate. He's got a title deed, an invitation, inviting him, and the butler hands him an envelope, and in that envelope there are flight tickets in the first class for him to take a flight towards where he needs to come, where he would be able to meet with the old man and the lawyers. And inside that envelope, not only are there flight tickets, there are instructions on what he needs to do, where he needs to go to be able to achieve or get that legacy that the rich man had saved or had set apart for his parent. And in excitement, that young man took the envelope and said, "Thank you for the envelope. I'll see you when I see you." And the butler left. And while the young man was out there, he enjoyed the comfort, the smell of the envelope. And he never opened the envelope. A few years passed. The old man passed on. And the government came in and took the estate and everything that was left for that young man. And a few years went by. 20, 30 years went by. And the boy had been treasuring. Now he's old, he's an old man. He's living in the streets. And in his old age, and one day when he's about to die, and he's freezing cold, he's shivering. The heat that the house, the corner that is in, and those blankets that he's wearing are not enough, and they are not sufficient for him. And he reaches down and says, "No, I remember one butler came to give me an envelope. Let me open up and see what really was the message." And he opens up and he finds flight tickets that had expired. He finds a title deed and all he was summoned to come and enjoy. And because the young man never opened the gift that he was given, because the young man never opened the gifts that were bestowed upon him, he never had the chance to enjoy the wealth, the enormous wealth that he had. And if you, my friend, if you and I don't take the advantage to be intentional in our growth, to be intentional in the way we are pursuing our dreams and our desires in 2020, we'll be like that young man, to have all the potential in the world, but to never enjoy the fruits. I encourage you to open up yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Be intentional about your growth in 2020. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time on the Igniting the Dreams Within podcast.